It's really important to understand that life can be difficult sometimes, and it can feel like the difficulty never stops piling on top of you. There's going to be moments in your life where it feels like you're never going to get out. But let me tell you something, it always gets better. When you're in a situation of hardship and you feel like you're never going to get out, you feel like your life is going to end, you feel like you're not going to be able to handle what's coming for you. You got to understand that it always will get better. Now, I have a personal experience to expand upon with this narrative. Recently, this past week, I started a new job, and I'm not very good at adapting to changes. The first day I walked in, it was a new environment, a new big building with all these different employees that I did not know at all. And I was frightened. People were looking at me like I was some kind of stranger, like I was somebody who didn't belong in that environment. And all the managers had all these expectations for me and my performance. And I had a difficult time learning new things. I had a difficulty in learning every single thing that they're taught me because they kept on putting me in different locations of the building. On one day, they'd have me making desserts, right? And then in another, they would have me serving hot food. And in another, they'd have me filling up beverages. So it was really just this constant challenge of testing my knowledge and testing different routines. And it sucked, because every single day I felt like I was starting over again. I'd go through all this effort to learn what I was being taught just to start back at the beginning again with new information. And it felt like this constant cycle of torture because I never really felt like I was getting anywhere. And then toward the end of my first week working in this residential dining hall, which is something I should have mentioned prior, I started to feel more comfortable. I started to memorize where things were, the general synopsis of where to find things, the employee expectations, right? Because they don't always teach you the things that you need to know. They don't always go over everything. Some things you have to figure out on your own. And that's what I did. I realized that this moment, this feeling of discomfort that I was going through when I was learning my new job was the signal for growth. This moment was basically like when a snake sheds its old layer of skin and out comes the fresh new skin, right? I didn't really realize it during the moment of struggle, but afterwards in hindsight, I realized that I've grown as a person, right? I felt very anxious prior to starting, but then afterwards, I go to that job and I don't feel the same anxiety, even though I do feel a little bit of nervousness still because it's still new, right? I just finished the first week, but the anxiety has gone away and the job didn't change. No, I improved. I became more knowledgeable. I expanded my skill set. I didn't lose any prior skills that I learned. I adapted to a new environment. And now I have all of that memory, all of that knowledge stored in my head, ready to access whenever I need it. And I also realized something else fascinating too about this. When I was going out into public, outside of work, I noticed that my anxieties that I felt previously were turned down a little bit. I wasn't as nervous to do the things I previously was nervous to do. I realized that I had developed a tougher shell. I developed more emotional resilience from doing something different, from changing my routine, right? Because if you follow the same routine every single day, you're going to feel comfortable. And when you don't try new things, you're going to lose that comfort zone. That's going to shrink in more and more and more. And if you spend too much time in your comfort zone, you are going to feel so anxious that you won't be able to leave your house. You're going to feel like every single little thing is a threat, right? You are going to have irrational fears that you actually believe. I went into that job not knowing what to expect, thinking that I wouldn't be able to handle it. I was doubting myself. Every single time I was told advice for improving, I felt like I was being attacked for my ability to do work, until I realized that other people weren't actually thinking about me like that. They were just trying to help me out. And after surviving that week, I realized that no matter what I do, I'm going to survive. At least 99% certain that whatever challenges I'd face, I would get through. Yes, it would feel painful. But when I got the realization that embracing the stress, embracing the pain was the way to go, I just stopped feeling it, because I knew that it wasn't my control on whether I felt that way or not. These are feelings, and these are human emotions that everybody experiences. You're not going to feel your best every day. But if you show up, especially when it's important for you, you are going to exit out the flames in the other end as a stronger person. And that's what you should constantly be chasing. You should be chasing to improve yourself. And know not to take hardships personally all the time, right? There's obviously certain instances where that's given, right? That's okay to do, right? But in the instance of trying new things out and just improving your emotional resilience and your individual self, the key is to push through and to know that you're going to survive this and exit out a better person, right? And someday, 30, 40 years from now, you are going to retire in whatever career you started in, thanking yourself for going down that path, for not giving up, right? I felt like I wanted to go home. I felt like leaving because I wasn't too sure if I was going to be able to handle it. I wasn't sure if my self could do it, right? I doubted myself. But then afterwards, I was like, you know what? I don't need to doubt myself because I went through it. I came out alive, and I'm going to keep doing it. And one day I might be in a situation that I wouldn't have been able to be in without going through this hardship. So remember, if you feel uncertain, don't be afraid to try something new. And if you do feel afraid, do it anyway. Because it's about what's right for you. It's about what benefits you for your personal good the most. Not about how you feel. Don't always listen to your feelings. Listen to your gut. And do the things that your heart desires. Check off every single box that you have, because you'll feel better about it afterwards. Delay that gratification. Peace out and have a good night.